holiday is organised to see the sort of things that we hope for their children. And this liaison's very, very important. Education isn't something which happens from 4 to 11. It's something which happens from birth until, well, hopefully through adulthood. So we have to make sure that we liaise with the preschool agencies, with the secondary school agencies where our children are going to move on to. It's a continuous process. I want you to think very hard of a different way you could record what you found out.
Maggie Walker's tiny school is typical of many of this size. She is one of the 3 full-time teachers and spends a lot of time in the classroom. She regards qualified help for the school as a prized commodity.
How else could you record then the information that you found out?
Mary Moore spent a lifetime in the classroom and welcomes the opportunity to return to the challenge of teaching.
Well, I enjoyed it very much. I always do enjoy coming back amongst the children. I never know what I'm going to do. This afternoon it was fortunate because I had been teaching music in the school, so it was recalling old skills this afternoon, dealing with the infant children. Now with the national curriculum, their horizons have widened. They're doing cross-curricular work on various topics and themes, and school is a really bustling hive of industry. Lots of discussion going on. Very lively place indeed. Very different from when I first knew the school.
Avon's largest school is Brislington. A purpose-built comprehensive, it started life in 1956 with an entry of 140 pupils. Today there are 1,700 students on roll and more than 100 teaching staff to support them. It has a thriving 6th form, now known as years 12 and 13, and a flourishing parent-teacher organisation. Its facilities, resources and academic reputation are to be envied. But just like every other state school, Brislington has been compelled to introduce the subjects, targets and assessment system of the national curriculum. The headmaster, Gordon Clements, keeps a watchful eye over the progress of pupils. Despite the problems, he believes the school is well prepared for the changes that lie ahead.
We've made a number of internal changes here at Brislington. We've changed the style of school day we have, the way in which we timetable it, and a number of other technical changes which I hope will enable teachers to be effective. We've changed from departments through to faculties, and we've moved towards what we call an entitlement curriculum. Now all of that is going to encompass the national curriculum, if you like, and I see it as a very positive and forward-looking way of ensuring that the national curriculum is taken on board and implemented effectively. But rather than wait for the national curriculum to be imposed upon us, we're actually creating a framework within which the national curriculum can work.
Yes, no, I mean, these are the results, and they're markedly down. I mean,
most of the teaching staff have accepted the challenge of the new system with enthusiasm. One worry is the sheer scale of paperwork and information to be absorbed in order to come to grips with the Education Reform Act.
Yeah, it was really good.
There's been a tremendous amount of paperwork, right from the earliest days, back in 1987, when it was first announced there would be an Education Reform Act and a national curriculum. We've been deluged with paper. Each subject has a working party report, which comes for reading for teachers, and then we make responses to it. And then we have the draft orders, and then we have the real law which gets delivered to us. Each teacher will get a hard-bound, or a hard ring-bound copy of the law, and also things like this, which is sent a little bit later, which is what's called non-statutory guidance on how to teach the English in the national curriculum. And imagine all this has to be read by teachers and thought about and acted upon, and we haven't even yet got the assessment details, so that will all go in there as well.
But the optimistic thing is that actually a lot of the national curriculum is what departments, what teams of people have been doing well for a long time anyway, and it's not so massively new, certainly not for English anyway.
One of the things that I think is most exciting about the national curriculum is the opportunity for working in a cross-curricular way. Having just moved from the English faculty really into the arts faculty, then I think the opportunities for the arts and English to work very closely together is very exciting.
I think on the whole that the national curriculum is quite a good idea, but I do have some concerns about the assessment procedures, that there's this idea that in order to know whether a child knows something it's got to be written down and recorded, and I think it actually ignores the fact that teachers know what happens without it all being kept in a filing cabinet somewhere. I think also there's a problem with the attainment targets in that it assumes that knowledge is gained in a sort of ladder procedure that you go on stepping stones, and I think certainly in English that it doesn't happen like that.
There is a real problem, in fact, not knowing what the tests are going to be like. That I think is my main worry. I think we'll be teaching the right curriculum, the right syllabus as it were, but how a test can possibly take account of all that the children are doing, I've no idea.
The amount of assessment which teachers will be involved in is of course very worrying indeed. Teachers must be given the freedom and the scope to be able to teach and to enthuse their subject to young people, and not to be spending their time simply filling in forms or reporting and assessing what is going on. It needs to be a balance between the two. And I think slowly but surely we will probably get that balance as the government changes its views on certain aspects of the national curriculum.
It is a worry in the sense that I feel as though I do my fair share of assessment and marking already without having an extra workload on me. But by the same token, I feel that in some ways it's up to schools and up to faculties to be able to adjust the records that we keep already, or to devise assessment strategies which are going to mean that teachers haven't got to have an awful lot of extra workload put upon them.
We don't have sit-down exams for English, we're 100% coursework, and we're not sure how long that will go on. The opportunities that gives us is to provide a syllabus for the pupils that gives them a whole range of opportunities to develop their interests and their skills, and also work on aspects of their writing or reading that need special consideration.
English was all coursework at GCSE, and so it's the first English exam we'd ever done. And so it's sort of a big shock to the system that we'd never done an exam before. And I found that I had problems managing the time to make sure that I spent equal amounts of time on each subject, like each of the 2 different essays.
Just like any other school, staff spend a lot of time developing their pupils' wide range of talents. This class is going on during the lunch break. There are rehearsals for the school concert, and the song has been written by the performers. But the demands of the new curriculum and the effects of rate capping may put such extracurricular activities under threat.
One fear I do have is that if such things as rate capping affect us strongly, then with peripatetic staff, visiting instrumental staff, money cut back, then resources will suffer, help to me will suffer, and of course the work that the pupils provide and produce will suffer as well.
I think it's vital we keep up the whole range of extracurricular activities and sporting activities and artistic activities that we've been doing in the past. We've got plans for things like arts weeks and PE, special activities too. The music's strong, must stay strong. And there's no sense the national curriculum is going to take over the whole of the time in school.
Many of the extracurricular courses feed off normal lessons, and children get a lot of satisfaction and personal confidence from them.
Yeah. What do you want, Sam? That girl over there, she's looking at you. Where? Just your imagination, Sam. No, look, she's winking at you. Look.
Okay, what you need to do is to take that on a bit, don't you? So you've seen this girl. Mm-hmm. You've seen her. What's your reaction to her? What have you noticed about her? Right.
Yeah, everybody else is sort of talking. How to remind them sort of
That's right. Why don't you tease them a bit? This is part of a small drama group who are working on an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. They started this in their English lessons and they're actually working on making a video of it. which we're going to video on location after school. It's the very early stages of rehearsal, and I'm hoping that they will learn some of their acting skills, develop some of their acting skills, as well as learn something about the text itself.
The discipline